The iPhone 15 Pro is here, and I was lucky enough to be able to snag on a few days after launch. I ordered on Saturday, picked up Sunday, got home, set it up, and I have officially used it for 24 hours. So here are my first impressions of the iPhone 15 Pro. First, I chose the blue titanium color pretty much because every other video that I see is the natural titanium. So I wanted to give it a fresh look at the blue. And I really like it. It looks great in direct sunlight. The back with the frosted glass is nice, and it's not a super fingerprint magnet like my 13. The sides are a brushed titanium, which is super nice to the touch. And coming from the 13, which is an absolute smudge magnet, both the sides and the back show absolutely everything. So anytime I would put the 13 on camera, I needed one of these to give it a full wipe down. But this new design, yes, it does show fingerprints, but it is much easier to just wipe them away and be done. I'm a big fan of the new design. Also, I'm not going to push this phone to the limit, but I know that the Apple Watch Ultra, it was able to take everyday wear and tear, and it didn't show any marks. So I am hopeful that this phone will be the same. Although I always have my phone in a case, and you can even look at my 13, and it is still in great shape, even after 2 years of use. Now, picking this phone out of the box, you can not help but notice the weight. Coming from a non-Pro 13 to the 15 Pro, normally you would expect a heavier phone, but in fact, this phone feels lighter than my 13. I will put them on the scale and check the weights, and we will see if I am telling myself this or not. But on paper, versus the 14 Pro, the 15 Pro has dropped about 8% in weight due to the materials in this year's phone. And I will take it, because one of the reasons I wear a cellular watch is that I do not have to bring my phone with me wherever I go. But if it's lighter in my pocket, that is just a huge plus for me. Now, when I made the 15 rumors video, one of the big rumors was the smaller bezels on these devices. And comparing to an iPhone 13, you can see a pretty dramatic change in the bezel size. And looking at it up close, you can just admire how close they are getting to the edge. But myself, I don't want the edgeless design. Those cause too many issues with wrong presses in cases that aren't able to wrap around the screen and give it that lip for the screen protection. So this is absolutely fine with me. But everything else on the phone is the same coming from the 14 Pro to the 15 Pro. But this will be my first experience with the dynamic island, and so far so good. It's a great quick way to keep an eye on timers and media that are playing like music or podcasts. Coming from the 13, Pro Motion Display is on this 15 Pro, and I can see the smooth scrolling already. Whether it is in the settings menu, web pages, Twitter, or so on, it looks great, and I am finally done with the 60Hz display. I really believe that Pro Motion Display should be included on all iPhones by now, but it just seems that Apple will continue to keep this only on the Pro models. The camera is where you will see the biggest change from year to year. Apple is creating a multiple lens phone by changing the optical zoom with the main lens, giving it 3 different zooms with a single lens. Tapping on the wide camera will give you a 24mm 1x zoom. Tap again for the 1.2x 28mm zoom, and a third tap will give you a 1.5x 35mm zoom. Then you have the standard ultra-wide, 2x portrait, and 3x zoom on the Pro, and 5x zoom on the Pro Max. But the biggest change for me is being able to turn any photo with a person, dog, or cat into a portrait photo even after the picture is taken. As well, you can change the focus while editing the photo. This is going to make taking quick pictures so much easier rather than having to open the camera, switch over to portrait mode, waiting, and hopefully my subject is still in the place when I wanted to take the picture, which never happens. Another huge change is the universal move to the USB-C. All models of the 15 will have USB-C, but the Pro models will benefit from USB 3 speeds, which are up to 10 gigabit transfer speeds, which will be fantastic as I use my iPhone as my main filming camera, and when using my 13 and having to transfer my PC, it would just burn hours in my week waiting to transfer all of my footage. So this will save me loads of time, and just the ability to use accessories through USB-C port is great. I will for sure want to put this to the test and see what works and what doesn't work. So if you want to see that, be sure to be subscribed to know when that video goes live. And finally, the action button is here. And yes, I think this is a great change because how many of us get the phone, flick on the mute switch, and never adjust the switch again. So instead of flicking the switch, you drag down the top right corner to open up Control Center, tap right here to turn on mute, and now we have a new button to program. We can have focus mode select, camera button, flashlight, magnifier, voice memos, and a quick toggle for accessibility options, or anything we want using shortcuts. I will be spending some time building the shortcuts button, but as for right now, I will be using it as either my camera shortcut or my flashlight toggle. And do note, you do need to press and hold. There is no quick press. This is to protect against pocket presses, which is a good thing because if you do have it as the flashlight, you wouldn't want that just turning on while in your pocket. So those are my first impressions of the iPhone 15 Pro after 24 hours. I will be putting this to the test as USB-C opens so many possibilities, so be sure to be subscribed to see all of those videos. Thank you for watching, leave a like if you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next upload next Sunday.